Hey everyone, welcome. Let me start by sharing my screen, and then I want to walk through this announcement regarding terminal setup. For those of you who already know terminal setup, obviously, feel free to skip this episode. This video is specifically talking about terminal itself, right? So it's separate from class material. Um, Let me start by saying terminal is not required, right? I don't know if people know this. Just because I do things in terminal doesn't mean you have to do things terminal, right? I use terminal to create a Python script. You can just create a Python script in VS Code, right? You don't have to use terminal. Um, so I just want people to know that out of the beginning. It's not required. It's just optional, right? So now that we get that out of the way, this is my experience with using terminal. Um, Obviously, depends on whether you're using Windows or you're using MacBook. For MacBook, just open a terminal, you just start typing things down, right? For Windows, my personal reference preference is to use WSL. So I said it here, WSL. That's actually not PowerShell, right? It's the Windows subsystem for Linux. So if you use WSL, you use same sets of command in Windows as well as in MacBook terminal. Um, so with all that being said, now the most easy way to get things started is, I believe, walking through this um, um, Linux command white paper, just so people can get things started. And me personally, I do this same thing as well, right? I would just um, come to one of these blogs and just kind of like go through each of these steps to see what is it that I don't know, and then this should be able to get you a quick start. Now, of course, if you have particular question, uh, you can always ask a large language model, right? For example, let me restart a new conversation. I can say, I am new to terminal. Um, how should I get started? Um, and then you can say, let's say I'm in a WSL environment in a Windows laptop. You just need to ask large language model, and it pretty much does the same thing for you as if you were reading this white paper, right? But of course, reading through white paper is of course good. There are different ways to open terminal. You can use shell, use terminal. You can find a window, things like that. So I can probably start from scratch. So I can hit start. I can say WSL, hit enter. It will create a window like this, right? And then I can then say PWD, that means print working directory. And that's what this command is. That's the same command here. And then you can also say CD or PWD, it's the same thing. CD just means it's change directory. Um, you can say CD home or CD dot dot. That means go back to home directory as well. You can also create file, delete file. I believe that is on the next page. Create folders, make temp tutorial, right? For example, we can do that as well. So make directory, let's say uh, test folder tutorial, something like that. Um, no such file, make directory. Oh, I forgot slash. Um, like this. Oh, what did I do wrong here? Make directory. Maybe I just copy this. There we go. So I think I use slash. Huh, maybe I had a typo somewhere. Oh, this is weird. I don't know why this. Oh, because it's probably because somewhere here. Oh, that's really weird. So then do cd temp tutorial tutorial ls. Now we're in here and it's empty folder, right? So now you guys get the idea. And then you can create subdirectories. So make directory DRI1, DRI2, list them out. You have two folders, right? Just like that. Um, you can also change directory. You can create files. Let me show you how I create files. So I can cd directory one. And I can do cat EOF. This is typically how I create files. This means cat means concatenate. EOF means end of file. End of file is kind of like this tag that dictates the beginning and end of a Python script. I can say app1.py. And here I can just type in Python code, right? Print hello world. And then once you're done, you can do another EOF that finishes that Python script, right? So now you do an ls. You see right here, I have an app1.py. It makes sense, right? Just because I just created it. You can do a concatenate app1.py. It will print out the hello world, and this is how I create a Python script inside of a terminal window. Um, that's kind of like the most of the stuff I do, which is just create file, delete file, things like that. Obviously, the other things is using git command to control or update or commit changes to your GitHub repository, right? So that's another thing I will probably be doing. You can also move and manipulate files by using this command. You can also do plumbing. Plumbing means you are basically using computers to clean things up. That's kind of like what that means. Check the system health level, check if a file exists or if a file does not exist, right? Or list out files that are in trouble, list out files that's too large, things like that. Um, so uh, the terminal environment can pretty much allow you to do all of that. And I think the manual command also works. I don't know if it works out of the box, but let's try it. Menu, what menu page do you want? For example, try menu. I actually have not run that before. Let's see how that works. Great. There you go. You can go down, you can go up, right? Yeah, you can go down. And you can read the manual. It can teach you what the commands are. Now, of course, you don't have to memorize all these things. You just need to memorize the things that you need to memorize, right? If this is too complicated for you, just create a Python script using VS Code, using your mouse cursor. It's really the same thing, right? It's not a requirement. Okay, so once I'm done, press Q, then you can get out of it. Another thing I like is the hidden file. Hidden file is the file that stores secrets, right? Like for example, API key, right? API key you want to store in a .in file, right? That's a standard practice, and it will be stored in your local environment, local folder, but it will not be pushed onto the GitHub repo because the git ignore file prevents it, right? So things like that, it's pretty much something you can do. And I think if you go to this blog, that's pretty much most of the things that you can do that you need to know with terminal. Now, of course, you can ask large language model, just like what I did here. It will give you relatively same thing, right? It will give you the same thing. Because large language model is trained on internet data. If it's on the internet, chances are large language model has already seen it. So that's kind of it to get you started on terminal. Now, of course, depending on your use case, there could be a million directions to go from here. But for now, in terms of all of the tutorials that I've done in my previous video, pretty much just a matter of creating file, deleting file. That's pretty much it. Moving file from place to place. And that's pretty much it. Um, so I would say that's most of the stuff here that I wrote. In terms of Claude Code, um, some students told me they have not used this before. I drop a link here. And then again, you don't have to install this if you don't want to. You just run this command. It says terminal. That's the command. You just copy it, and then you just physically install it here. Go here and just physically install it. Now, of course, I don't have to install it because I already installed it, so I'm going to cancel it. But you just run this command, and once you run this command, it will say da 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 like a progress bar, something like that. You wait for it, and then it will prompt you to go to Claude console, and you just sign in there, and then you're done, right? And then you can start by saying Claude. That kicks off a session of Claude API, and then it will ask you, hey, can I use this folder? Obviously, you say yes, and then you can go on from there, right? You can say yes, and then it will be inside of that folder, right? Here is where the folder is, and then you can say the same thing, right? I want to create app2.py script that says print hello world, right? You can do the same thing by talking to it, right? But really behind the scene is pretty much just what I just wrote, right? And you will ask you, hey, I'm about to do this. Are you okay with that? If you're okay, just say enter. But then you will create a Python script for you, right? It's same as if you write a code yourself. It's the same as if you talk to a chatbot to do it for you, right? Once it's created, you're good to go. You can then Control C or Command C by Xing this, press it twice. You do a ls, and then you see app2 is here, right? And then you do a concatenate app2. It will have that line of code in here, just same as if I did it before, right? So um, hopefully this makes sense, right? If you don't want to do things this way, no problem at all. You can just come here, right? Same thing, right? Like, give me Python code of a hello world Streamlit application, right? It's the same thing as if you talk to a large language model, it will write the code for you, and you just copy paste in a Python script. That's perfectly fine. Copy paste into a terminal, perfectly fine, right? The way I do it this way is just because it's faster, and it's fast for me doesn't mean it's fast for you, right? um, so let's say it wrote the code for you, you just copy, and then you go to your WSL, and then you say cat EOF new streamlit app dot py. Paste the code in there, EOF, boom, done. Let's verify this thing's created. That's the code there, right? That's written by large language model, right? I did not write st.title. That's the whole point of this, right? I can read the API docs for 5 hours and figure out the title of Streamlit syntax is st.title, right? But is it worth me 5 hours to figure that out? Probably not, right? I can spend a minute and just ask LLM to write this for you, and I'm done, right? Same thing goes with pretty much everything else, right? You want to build an app, as long as you have the idea, then just ask the LLM, right? If you don't have the idea, well, that's the human part, right? The human part is always what is your idea, right? If you don't have an idea, then you don't have an idea. Then there's no point to start this, right? But if you have an idea, the rest of the stuff can be done with a large language model, right? So that's what I want you guys to get comfortable with. Um, Again, with or without terminal, you'll get there, right? With or without terminal, you'll get there. There's no constraint, right? But if you want to use terminal, and hopefully this video share with you a couple of steps of how I use terminal. And then again, there are a million ways to use terminal, right? My way is not the only correct way. My way is just the way that based on the years in the past that I've used terminal that formed a certain habit, and these habits are just how I use it, right? It's not because I'm smart. It's because I've used these a fixed couple of steps for like many years in the past. That's why it looks on video that I'm fast, right? But it's only because I've been using these fixed couple of steps many times. And that's really why it looks on video I'm smart, right? I'm fast. It doesn't mean I'm smart. It doesn't mean I'm fast on my fingers. It's only because I've used this before many times, right? Um, Same goes with you guys. If you guys want to get good with certain skills, remember those certain prompts and you get fast in no time, right? That's pretty much it. So hopefully this video clears up some roadblocks. If terminal is a roadblock for you, please email me. I'm happy to meet up with you guys and explain more about it. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.